This is our move prep. To start with, we start to try to get the heart rate going a little bit just to make the movements more accessible. So our normal routine is to jog, back pedal, shuffle, elbows back, nice athletic position, feet never touch together. He's going to shuffle back, and then a long karaoke with our legs straight, just to involve some more hip mobility. Then he's going to go back. We'll do this 3 or 4 times depending on the temperature or the environment, just to get the heart rate going before we start our real move prep, our stationary move prep. Okay, we usually start from the top down with neck rolls. We'll do 5 to 10 on each side depending on the environment, depending on how much they need to be loosened up, how sore they are, and we'll add a stretch at the end here with an ear to shoulder, and then they'll turn and pull, and then they'll go to the opposite side, ear to shoulder, turn and pull, chin to chest, chin to sky, and then we'll go shoulder circles, palms to the sky, shoulder circles, palms to the sky, and then we'll go arms across. Always start with a non-dominant arm first, just because the nervous system's just a little bit more fresher, and then we'll transition. Left arm behind, right arm behind, wide stance, torso twist. And if you want added stretch, just raise your arms up in a 90-degree angle and twist. Alright, after the torso twist, we have a lean and stretch. We'll hold it for 3 seconds, really force that hip out. Do it 3 times, 3 to 5 times on each side. After the hip and oblique stretch, now we go to a squat routine, starting out with 5 squats narrow, feet together and straight ahead, then 5 shoulder width apart, feet straight ahead. The critical part of this is getting the shin angle. You want to try to force the shin angle to be vertical, just as Jordan just did right there. You want that shin angle to be straight up. See how he forces those knees out? Real good depth. And then they'll go toes out, wide stance with a nice deep squat. This is a lot slower here. They'll take the inside part of their knees and they'll force it out with their hands. It's a good groin stretch, inner thigh. They'll do that 3 to 5 times, and then we'll transition to lateral squat. This is the same thing, really pushing that knee over the ankle, making sure there's a good shin angle, good vertical shin angle, and the toe has to be straight ahead. So they'll do 5 on each side. After the lateral squats, we'll transition to a cross squat. You really want to try to force, you notice both of these guys are having a little issue here. When you start, you really want a good space in between your front foot and your back foot. Alright, good lateral space there. The more space you have, the better hip action and hip mobility you're going to get. So you really want to force that through. Tell them the shin angle here is important. You want the shin, the sole of the shoe to remain on the ground, and the shin to, you really want to force the shin to be vertical. So his back foot needs to be a little bit more this way. Looks like Frankie's okay. It's hard to see with that angle, but he's doing a good job trying to keep that shin angle vertical. So they'll go 5 on each side. And then here's the transition to the ground. Then we add a stretch into it. Both heels remaining on the ground. You're going to scoot your back foot up towards your front. Good squat. You want your palms on the ground, and then they're just going to lift the hips to the sky, trying to straighten that back leg. You're going to hold that for 3 seconds and then repeat 3 to 5 times. Notice this is a really good movement for balance as well. You can add this into the workout, weighted or non-weighted. So after the cross squat stretching, now we transition to the floor into a quadruped. That means toes, knees, and hands are on the floor. Hands are going to be directly under your shoulders. Knees are going to be directly under your hips. Toes are going to be tucked towards your shin. So this is called a cat to crawl. Probably need to get a lateral view of this, but this will do. If you notice, they're trying to flex their torso here, giving the up movement, trying to go down and then up, okay, as much as possible. Just getting some movement. This is more of a pelvic and hip flexibility and mobility. From there, we're going to go to bilateral knee to elbow. This is more of a hold. You'll see Jordan on the left side. You want to hold yourself right there, get your balance, count 1001, be in a full extended state just like Frankie is doing right here. Good extension, hold it for 1001, and then go elbow to knee. You want to go 3 on each side. Be able to show control throughout the whole movement. That's the critical part. After quadruped, we go into a plank. And we're going to do scap push-ups from a plank position. Notice my butt is too high. Frankie's doing a good job there. We'll do 3 to 5 on each one. And then we go into a push-up position and do the same thing, except now we're going to have an internal rotation of the elbow just to get the nervous system and to teach young athletes where a supported part of a stable shoulder, what a stable shoulder feels and looks like. If you notice at the top of my scap push-up here, I'm rotating those elbows in. The elbows start in a loose position facing out, and then when I go to a good stable position, they're going to rotate in and turn through. So the inside part of my elbow is pointed towards my fingers. So after that we go to a stationary inchworm just for some mobility, just to get the hamstrings and get some coordination there. This is more hip mobility. We'll add a push-up in there when needed. And then we'll go to a calf stretch from the downward dog position, starting on the left side. Try to force the heels down and butt up in the air. We'll do that 3 to 5 times.